is The Deal, beautiful people. My name is Ramon.
It's your boy Kickstart, back in the building.
And your boy Snow is good, my G's.
Welcome back. Episode 2. We're getting up there.
2 up.
You know what I'm saying?
Fucking 2, sir.
It's 100% more than what we did last time.
This is very true. Shout out to Derek Jeter, Larry Johnson, and I guess Kawhi Leonard.
Who's Derek Jeter?
Who's
He had
Kawhi
the
Leonard?
best commercial, Nike commercial I've ever seen.
Legend.
There's no Michael Jordan. There's no commercial better than Michael Jordan
You wildin'.
or Charles Barkley's Godzilla commercial.
You wildin'.
That was a good commercial.
Did you see the Derek Jeter commercial?
I did.
Did you see Dwayne Wade's commercial from Budweiser?
No.
You should check that out too.
Both of them.
Yes, actually, yes.
Both
Very
of them
good one.
former Jordan athletes.
So why are you Jordan Horn right now, son?
It's a room full of Jordan.
Room full of Jordans.
Fuck
here.
those kids. Fuck those
Yo,
kids.
son, I'm gonna get this.
No,
picture up, son. I'm sorry.
Don't do that, son. I'm gonna get derailed.
Son.
I'm gonna get derailed, fam. Don't do that.
Son,
While
I'm
he does
sorry.
whatever the fuck it is he's
sorry.
doing right now,
I have to do this.
I would like to propose a question to open up the episode.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
What are some of your guilty pleasures?
Shit, so you're gonna have to go first. Cause
The word is some, not one, right?
guilty.
It says
pleasure.
some.
Damn.
There's a lot of room in some.
Damn, I need to
All
read.
right, so I like to watch documentaries, right? But I'm gonna go a step deeper, and anything dealing with sex, including porn stars,
Documentaries on porn stars?
sex and porn stars. And the reason why is people are fascinated with porn stars in ways that they don't want to admit. I'm fascinated with the business of porn, right? Maybe because I was exposed to it from a business angle early. No, I'm not talking about being behind the camera or casting couch or nothing, but I had to build websites for a couple porn industry people, not individual stars, but for a couple houses,
Right.
I'm gonna call it. And that's when I started learning little things here and there. And then I always I always wanted to know, like, well, we know what happens with some NBA players, NFL players, music people, movie people. They had it all. They was the top of the game.
Yeah.
And this, that, and the third. And then the downward spiral of blah, blah, blah. And then you got that series that was on MTV for a little bit, right? So
Which series?
where basically the rise in fame or whatever. You can think of it 30 for 30 if you want to think ESPN,
Okay.
right? So I'm thinking, like, I remember being a child and you start hearing legends like, you know, Janet Jack Me and all this other stuff. And it's like, well, we're in a day and age where I'm like, yo, where are they now?
Son.
When people retire, what's that? Is that it?
Son, do you see the look on his face?
Yeah, this is funny.
So he's holding a bottle. He has an open bottle of whiskey and a box of fucking whiskey. And son,
Michael Jordan's hilarious.
that is the funniest picture I've seen last decade.
So it's like, it's interesting. It's like, okay,
Son, we're gonna make
what
this.
happened to this star? Like, because when you quit porn, and unfortunately as a woman, right?
Yes.
What happens? Are people gonna look at you and spit on you, knowing that they just spit on their hand and jerk off to you?
Is this after they exit the MILF genre too?
Son, the MILF genre is bigger than it's ever been. I'm pretty sure. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the term is so widespread, and there's a whole
That's right. You're
there's a
right.
whole
Oh, you're right.
website
You're right.
for
You're right.
cougars.
Cougars, there we go. Maybe that's what I meant.
Which is built on that, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's so interesting to see like how they quote reintegrate into the community. Some of them living normal lives. They now have children. How do children deal with that in the digital age?
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? Like,
But I think there's the way people look, they romanticize, objectify, they judge sex.
right,
It's just so off.
right. But that's the thing. I want to see the after sex, or well, that's the
Right.
name of a movie that everybody should see. Shout out and RIP to John Witherspoon. But like, what happens when you're done with this lifestyle? And
You probably
go
don't ever
back
wanna
to
have
be a
sex
regular
again.
person, you know? And then that was my other thing. Well, because these porn people are married, and a
Yeah.
lot of times they're not married to other porn people.
Yeah.
And if you're a person,
Married
I
to this
remember
dick.
I was watching the show Friends, right? I was watching the show Friends, and Rachel was interested into some kind of like OBGYN dude, right? And or something that deals with seeing vaginas all day. And he said, he gave the example of like, yo, I deal with this all day. What happens, you know, the last thing I want to do when I come home is look at another vagina.
Yeah.
Now, Rachel, he used the metaphor about like, well, you know, if you work at the coffee house, you know, like, do you want to see another cup of coffee when you get home? And she had a cup of coffee in her hand. She put it down.
Right.
Therefore, she understood why it's going to be hard to date this
Right.
dude. And to me, that's the same thing. They talk about it like, oh, I'm fucking on camera and I make love. And this is the women, it's not the men. That's usually a man line.
I've heard
I was
that.
fucking those other bitches. I make love to you. Like that's
Sure.
that's what that is. The women are like, yo, that's on camera. There's people in the room. They break it down.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, the sex on camera versus sex at home is two different things.
Pretty sure it is.
And then my other part is because men egos are 1 and 1. We don't ever talk about women egos. That's fucking unicorn shit, right? Men know what the deal is. But anyway, well, how does the man feel about that? How does the husband feel? So like those kind of things, we have documentaries for so many other things. And when I came across one of these, I wasn't even looking to that. It just spiraled into there. And the thing that kicked it off was real sex. As a child, watching real sex.
That was the HBO one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And real sex was like, kind of like humanized them to me.
Yeah.
Before it was this dirty thing. And
Yeah.
you don't want to talk about what's going on in your pants, but it's like, yo, I'm not supposed to be watching this. This is filth, right? But I can't look away. But then I just got interested. So that's definitely one of my... If I see something that talks about sex in general, how people behave in sex. Like I told you about this amazing show that Showtime used to have called Sexual Healing. This, and I still tell people to watch this, and I wish they would bring it back. But like, this therapist was healing problems, and the indicator was sex. Sex was bringing out was the outlet for something that was deeply rooted, and it wasn't always about somebody being molested. That was in there because we all know, you know, we live in the era.
I mean,
where,
that's heavy mental health stuff.
Yeah, but it was so many
Pretty
things.
common in today's world, to be honest.
Bro, in these episodes, they there for sex. Like this one chick was like, yo, her husband this, her husband that. And she was like this tough, like Brooklyn Italian woman, you know, just all this kind of woman bravado-ness going on, right? And at the end of the day, once the doctor or the therapist was trying to dig into that, she realized it ain't him. It's her.
Right.
And they started getting to her, and she starts crying and bawling, this, that, and third, and they had this breakthrough, and I'm just like, yo,
interesting.
Sex is like, and as a man, you know that some women think like, yo, well, if my man's precious, head and lead, like just that's it. And as men, we know that that's not the end. It helps a couple times, but we know that's not a surviving. That's not an end game.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
That's why I'm so interested when I see stories or anything built around that world. I want to see it.
Okay.
Well, not anything, most things, because there's some shit I just...
It can get wild.
Yeah, it gets too crazy for me. But that's definitely one of my guilty pleasures.
All right. Tawann?
Guilty fucking pleasure, man.
What is the definition of a guilty pleasure, though?
Can we
is
look
it something that you wouldn't really tell someone outward?
That's part of it. I don't ever really talk about that.
Right. It's something that you keep close to the vest.
I'll mention certain things that I feel like is entry level to everybody.
All right, so yeah, we all got the same understanding of it.
Yeah.
Listen, I want a fucking actual...
it really should be a shameless pleasure.
So wait, so you gonna let me go put my whole... Where people go and translate, yo, this dude's a porn perv.
Yep.
And then you go get right. a Google...
Guilty pleasure. Something such as a movie, television program, a piece of music that one enjoys despite feeling that it is not generally held in high regard.
I'm still in part.
Everybody, yes.
Well, I mean, sex is in very high regard, so technically speaking, it's not a guilty pleasure. You're just part of the norm.
Nah, but some people are like, word fam, you watching documentaries? And just to add, because I'm sorry, see, because I gotta put this out there. Yo, Seymour Butts, the porn star, had a show called Family Business.
Son, I'm not watching. Is Seymour Butts a female or male?
He's a male, bro.
I'm not watching anything.
I didn't know that was a real person.
No. Yeah, it's a real person. Nah, fam.
Isn't that a Simpsons punchline?
It's a
Bart Simpson.
It's a funny Bart Simpson punchline. It was a running joke, if I'm not mistaken. But fam, it talks about the business.
Okay.
Because he ends up having a studio himself or whatever they want to call it there. It is reality TV in a way, and it's so good and informative for everything that I was just talking about, the business of how it works. It's it's entertaining.
All right. Tawann?
Well, based on the definition, I can't say that I'd have a guilty pleasure that would be akin or based on something I would watch or a movie. I mean, I really can't, like, I'm not a big porn head anymore. When I was younger, yeah, but I mean, I can buying sneakers be a guilty pleasure?
Nah, because that's not something you wouldn't divulge to someone.
Well, yeah, no, I wouldn't, like, if I need to be.
So it means like if someone were to find out, you'd kind of be like, yeah, you're right. It's kind of trashy, but that's just what I do.
Like our homie Shifter could probably say his guilty pleasure
His pops.
is those pops.
Yeah.
He probably shout out to Shifter.
The little toys. He's got like 1 million of those.
I seen him before I came over here today, and he actually dumped one on me. I'm actually supposed to stop by his crib for a different one.
Yeah.
But then
that to me,
that's a guilty pleasure.
To me, that's a guilty pleasure. It doesn't fit what's on that screen, but to me, that's one.
Yeah, I mean, so it's. I mean, that's why I'm like, where are they getting this definition from?
I mean, yeah, but you can.
Your first mistake
you can
was
play with
went
the context.
to Google and not Bing.
Yes,
Right.
that was the first mistake. So since you got an iPhone, all of a sudden you use Google. You filthy bastard.
Where's your Safari browser, sir?
Listen. I attempted to use the Microsoft, and it didn't exactly render what it was that
Sir,
I needed.
you went straight to Google. I sat here and I watched you.
Did you watch when I was
You
looking
were
up the Michael
supposed to
Jordan
be the chosen one.
Sorry.
It was said you would bring balance to the force,
I hate you.
not join them.
I hate you. I mean, as far, I
So
really
to your
can't-
sneakers, cigars wouldn't be a guilty pleasure for me because everyone knows that I love cigars. Watching Grey's Anatomy would be a guilty pleasure for me.
buying Pumas, buying the specific.
That would be a guilty pleasure, yes.
Because everybody knows I love Jordans. Everybody knows I love
I know you love Asics.
buying Asics. Asics are actually really like Asics. That is something that you would now know that, yo, I really like Asics.
Go fuck yourself with that.
I just need Asics to put out colors that I won't feel ashamed walking in public with. That's always been my beef with them.
Asics color choice, period, are like colors that you can really you can wear with anything at any given time.
No, not the Asics I've seen. Not the Asics that I've liked that I've seen.
Oh, well,
I can't wear Jolly Ranchers.
Asic colors are not Jolly Rancher colors. Asic colors are very
Miami blue.
No.
I'm not wearing anything
Miami
Steve
pink.
Jobs wore. Straight up.
No. Asic colors, they do have blues. They do have reds, but it's not.
They gotta pick a side, fam.
It's more like red, like this.
Nah,
it's
they gotta
not
pick a
bright
side.
red.
You can't be blood or crip.
Son,
Like,
the Miami red and the Miami blue is not vibrant blues. It's a very specific
aren't
blue.
those pastel?
Son. Yeah,
Or would you call those neon colors?
They're close to neons, but not that neon that glows though. It's like a subtle one.
It's like a faded neon, like that Miami Vice shite.
And just for the record, yo, you see all the ads that was on the front of his page?
Yeah, I'm trying
The
to figure out what
Yeah.
Oh my God,
It was
son.
90% ads.
Yo, Google out here wilding.
What is this? Yo, I'm not wearing nothing Steve Jobs wore.
It's
Straight
never
up.
like that neither. I'll just have you guys know.
Nah, fam, nah, we here now. Now we know what your guilty pleasure
all
is.
that, I'm not with. Everything that's on your screen right now, I'm not with.
What you're looking at is very specific to runners. You and I don't buy this sneaker.
But these aren't the sneakers I'm talking about.
So the sneakers that we are talking about are more lifestyle sneakers.
Look, hold up. The second row, the second to last row. That I see those in a while. I'm not wearing that.
Yeah, but this isn't the sneaker that your typical sneaker wearer is going for.
Son, there's a black one there, right? In that same set, there's a black one there. No. You can go back down.
You talk.
Everything on that page looks like fuck to me.
And that's number 2. As I said, the ones that I've saw that I did like had some colors that I don't like. That's that shit.
Sir, you keep that guilty pleasure
look
to
at that.
yourself.
Look at that in the middle. I can't wear that.
No, I'm looking for the lifestyle shit.
Ain't no lifestyle shit on Asics.
Lifestyle is called running.
That's all.
And that black and red, and as someone that loves to wear black and red, that was too much. Look at that. Up right.
It's not the quantity.
This is definitely a guilty pleasure, son.
Look, see,
I can't wear that color. But that's what I was getting at. Like for me, that color right there, it's no good for me, man.
where the fuck are the fucking lifestyle shits?
Son, Asics has failed you here today.
Yeah, but this is not what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
We still want your actual.
we're gonna save
Fuck
this
this
man.
shit.
We're gonna
Fuck
go.
this shit.
We're gonna go right into his top sneakers of 2019.
Fair, because you're not escaping the guilty pleasure either.
I already said mine.
What was that?
Did you? I didn't hear that.
My
didn't hear
my
either.
guilty
It ain't
pleasure
cigars.
is Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy? I thought that was just a chain. That's one of them, right? Because we said some.
Well, yeah, Grey's
Son, I
Anatomy.
didn't hear you say Grey's Anatomy.
He did say Grey's
I
Anatomy,
was-
but
I
it
said
came.
Grey's
You know, he
Anatomy.
said it. He said it. But
I
it came out
said
another
Grey's
way.
Anatomy when we were talking about Netflix.
He
Hey,
said Grey's Anatomy in this
good thing
conversation.
the fucking conversation is being recorded, you scumbags. I know what I said.
You said Grey's Anatomy. I heard you in this conversation. You said it.
Sorry, I'm going with he didn't say it.
So Grey's Anatomy would be a guilty pleasure of mine.
What else?
I love rom-coms.
That's one of mine too.
And it's quite annoying that there aren't much of them.
They're
What
fading
the fuck
right
is
now.
rom-com?
A romantic comedy.
Oh, fuck that.
You know what could probably save rom-coms? This recent generation of top tier artists, when they start to descend,
Yeah, that's exactly where they go.
paired with the what we call YouTube or influence celebrities.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna save it. That's
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
gonna bring it back.
Like
I
Issa
don't
Rae.
want that.
Issa Rae would play in a very nice rom-com.
Issa Rae. I want Issa. You know what, son? I want Issa Rae when she gets the rest of her list done and she's go on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to come back for the rom-coms and do it up for us, our people.
Yeah.
In that space. Like
And
I want her.
by us people, you mean like Microsoft lovers.
No, not at all. Not at all. I want her to come through and I want her to own that category. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think she don't have to be in all of them, but I want her
Here you go.
directing them, producing them, et cetera, et cetera.
It took you 20 minutes to find that sneaker.
Yes.
Yeah, because I didn't
and
know the name of it.
First off, that black and white composition notebook is a ripoff of BK Diamond Cell. I rest my case. I'm out of here.
Okay.
Son, that shoe, I'm never putting that shoe on.
Fam,
Why?
how you the kick skog and you don't know what BK Diamond Cell is? Why don't you just...
Bing it this time so you don't have 50 pages of ads.
I tried to Bing it, but
BK
so
Diamond Cells. This Kick Scott is from Brooklyn. He don't know what BK Diamond Cells.
I probably do. I'm just not.
I'm fitting to get on
So-
eBay and get me some British Knights.
Here you go.
Son.
Here you go again. So Gel Light.
Shout
Gel
out
Light
to
3.
hold up. Shout out to my homie Reem of Battlefest for getting that BK deal way back when. Shout out to you, bro.
Okay then.
Son, those look like fuck.
Son, these are perfect, fashionable. You can wear them in the summertime. You can wear them in the wintertime. There's nothing wrong with them.
I'm cutting ass if I see somebody roll through with those.
I'm buying them.
I'm buying them.
Just so you could come at me.
I'm cutting ass, son.
You better not have anything easy on because I'm going to roast you.
It's all good, son. You can't roast God.
I can
So-
roast God.
And here's your full plethora. Here you got these, the Ronnie fight.
That
Son,
color in
we're
the
out of
front,
here.
I
We're
can't
out of
do
here,
it.
son. I don't know what you're
Son,
doing.
please
over
Google
here, son.
BK Diamond Cells.
BK.
I just blacklisted anything A6.
A6, we will take a sponsorship deal for you.
Yeah, come through. We got sponsored blocks on the podcast. And this episode, too, is sponsored by subpar ass running sneakers with fucked up colors.
Son. British Knights? Oh, no. I can't. This is.
What you
this
got
is,
against British Knights, son?
I have nothing against British Knights except for the fact that these were relevant when I was in kindergarten. Sorry,
Son, get your game together, son.
So you might as well. So what?
So-
I'm supposed to
so-
wear pro players too?
I don't know what that is, but
Pro
let's have
Players
at it.
not popping.
All right. So
Pull up a picture of a
BK
pro
Diamond
player.
Cells was popping way after whatever the heck you just said.
pro players.
BK Diamond Sales was popping way after that.
What is a pro player?
It was a sneaker.
Can we see a picture, sir?
Okay, so you want to see? Hold on.
What NBA star had a pro player endorsement? That rests my case. Shout out to Derek Coleman.
Here you go.
Pull up a picture, son. Just hit the images button. Let me see what you're looking at.
I bet you those boxes shoot.
What the fuck are these?
What the heck
These
is
are
that?
pro players.
They look like Nike rejects.
Damn, those look like
those are
upside down
Converse.
Vans.
Rejects. It's $1.99.
Google don't even know what a pro player is.
Yeah, nah, they don't.
Fab. What is that?
This is crazy.
That's the true definition of what are those.
I'm out of here, son.
Yeah,
I'm
we died.
outta here.
Here you go.
We died. Son, that
Pro
look like
players.
Payless.
Pro
That look like
players.
Walmart.
Well,
Man.
they are Walmart now.
That look like something Nike's gonna release next week.
Sad but true.
And when they release them,
They
they
gonna be
will fly
fire.
off the shelves.
Yeah, because this generation likes buying ugly sneakers.
I've had enough. Sir Tawann, can you walk us through your top
Since-
10 sneakers
yeah.
for 2019,
Yeah, why not?
please?
Why not? Why not, son? You know, we
Is
can-
LA Gear on the list
Absolutely not.
You
Do they even
wildin'.
make LA Gears
Yes,
anymore?
they do.
with the light up joints?
Yeah.
I had the boots,
Back to the 90s we go.
the red boots with the lights at the back, fam.
So you
Holla at
don't
me.
like the 90s. I don't know why.
Fuck the 90s.
Son, everything positive came for you, for me, for everyone in this room in the 90s.
I'm not with it,
Sound
fam.
like that also sounds like the Pokemon song.
I'm not with it, fam. KRS-One is trash.
Technically the 80s, but
80s.
Car Kanai, I can't fucks with it.
fine. Car Canal, shout out to Car Canal.
Cross color.
Fuck you people with your cross color.
I had 2 pairs shoes, sneakers from him. I had the whole orange and green setup. You know what I mean? Shout out to Car Canal.
Not with it, son.
Okay.
Son, proceed with the list, man.
So,
Number 10.
let me see what I got. So number 10, I'm rolling with the Cactus Jack Air Jordan 6s. That's my number 10. That's my number 10. So what say you, son?
I don't like sixes, but I'll deal with those because of the hype behind it.
You don't like 6s.
Did you wear yours yet?
Yes.
What was the reception when people saw them?
People was like, yo, you got those? I
Okay.
was like, yeah, I am the kickstart.
So you was floating when you was wearing them.
I mean, yes, but you can't just, it's like having those sneakers and not being able to accessorize it
Right.
accordingly. Yeah. I made it happen. So,
Those sneakers are a lot. I feel like the only way you pull them off is walking outside with your dick swinging, butt ass naked.
Is Cactus Jack on the tongue? Cactus Jack the wrestler, aka Mankind. Is he on the tongue of the sneaker? Fail.
No. I mean, maybe
Fail.
one can say that it could be Cactus Jack on.
Fail.
I have to pull them fucking sneakers down.
Fail.
Because I remember I took the pictures of him and he was on the ones.
He was on the one.
The logo, the Mankind logo was on the ones.
Oh, that's fire.
But because sixes are so trash,
Son.
then
So exactly why do you have 2 pair of fucking sixes?
because you gave them to me, sir.
Okay, but if they're
And
trash,
the other pair I bought because I was in a weak moment in life.
if they're trash,
Only a new 6 can fix the pain.
if they're trash, you don't buy.
I quite
You
like
don't
my
take.
sport blues.
I'm saying, so you have 3 pair of.
Don't fucking judge me. I got a hard time. I judge myself harsh enough, sir.
All right, son.
Fuck you with those sixes.
Pardon this fucking paper noise. I keep my sneakers still inside the box.
You really do go to meticulous ends to keep these sneakers.
Absolutely.
You put the yellow laces in.
Son, these are God mode, son.
So no, there is no Cactus
There's no
Jack
Cactus
anything
Jack
on
I
that.
think it's on.
Man,
Them shits are fake, son. They ain't got no Cactus Jack
If
logos.
Cactus
on
Jack
their
ain't
ass.
on the Cactus Jack.
Is
then
he
it's not a
alive?
Cactus Jack. Yes, he is.
The rest, okay.
That's an intelligent man.
I don't doubt it.
Son, I am done with it. Is he inside this shit?
Bro, let's get to number 9.
I thought it was weird that it was nothing.
He's right here.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it?
He's in a pouch. Okay,
Okay, all right. 10 gets a 10 from me then.
so that's where you put your bag.
I mean, actually, you know what? You get a
to
9 because he's hidden.
when you go to the what do you call these? The concert. You put your bag of weed in the pouch on your shoes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
All right, number 9.
number 9, sir.
So number 9, it's the Jordan 4 Black Cement.
That are not really cements.
This is the pavements.
One could say bread fours. I think that would be
That would probably be more accurate. Yes.
appropriate name.
And Jordan 4s are trash.
Son,
I'm just saying, Jordan 4s are trash. You know this.
I'm gonna tell you. People have probably heard, if you guys have ever listened to any of my or watched any of my reviews or what have you. People can say that the Jordan 4s are one of my least favorite sneakers. And it was I wasn't really I actually, the Jordan 4 and the Jordan 3 was two of my least favorite sneakers, along with the 2s. So I wasn't crazy about them. However, over time it grew to,
with better colorways, perhaps.
No, because the same colorways, most of the same colorways that's out now or have released are the same colorways that were out.
Okay.
So I'm I was able to rock with those, whatever.
Okay.
But Black Cement, yeah, I say they were a highlight, one of the highlights of 2019.
Okay.
So
next on the list,
the Puma RSX.
All right, next on the list.
well,
those aren't bad looking. I'll admit.
I mean, I feel like Puma, and it was a conversation, but we're probably going to table it for now. But I wanted to talk about Puma's rise to, I would say, maybe prominence for the last maybe 3 to 4 years.
Sure.
And they've come from, I want to say, almost obscurity, because basically the only sneakers that really mattered to many people were a sneaker design that was
older than me.
Yeah, 30, 40 years old.
Yeah.
They got two, right? The classic running sneaker and then that classic sneaker that everybody wears.
Right. And quite like Pumas wasn't really known for running sneakers per se. They were really known for basketball sneakers. I want to say maybe they started off with runners, but their I would say their go-to or bread and butter was more tennis and then basketball.
Oh, that's right, tennis.
Right.
So
that's right.
But the Puma Clyde.
Okay.
Those are, or the Clyde lows, that was really keeping them afloat. And then they had what is the name of them? The name of the sneaker, they actually, it's funny, they allow them in jail now. So
interesting.
Yeah, they're allowed to actually wear those in jail. They come in white and black. I forget what name they are, but at any rate, those were the only Puma sneakers that mattered. So now, coming out with these more modern designs, I feel like these modern designs has propelled Puma to a point where it's like, yo, they're in the conversation.
Good for them.
So yeah.
Maybe they'll get some hype soon.
Are they in your conversation? No, they got hype.
I don't wear sneakers, sir. I don't wear sneakers.
Well, Jay-Z has a deal with Puma.
I'm on the Kanye side of the fence these days.
And we're going to have a conversation about Beyonce and her Ivy Adidas line.
I don't know.
When Kanye pull up on her and say, yo, what's up with this collab?
Yeah. Well, Kanye does no wrong to me.
Yeah. Okay. And so number 7, Puma Liquid Cell. Again, just
two Pumas.
Yeah. That's big. 2 Pumas, no Reebok.
No Reebok.
Oh, fuck Reebok.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. we done with aerobics, I guess.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
All right, proceed.
Shout out to 5411 size 7 and girls.
My number 6 is the Yeezy 700 V3 Azale.
Okay.
Real modern design. You guys already know what it looked like.
Yep.
I fucks with them. No boost. But again, I feel like that's one of the sneakers. Like, people were tired of seeing the same old shit, and now,
who are these people? Because you just bought a pair of Jordan 4s.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. Yeah,
Yo, I mean, people. I'll buy the Jordan 4s. First of all, it was the OG color, and then they re-released it with the OG look.
Wait, are those the breads that I have?
Yeah.
Oh, carry on.
Same fucking sneakers. Son.
Carry on.
Same fucking sneakers. So
carry on.
Next up, well, before I even close off, next the Yeezy, the 700s with people with so many
350s, yeah, the V2s.
So many 350s, so many 700s. Then it came with the V2 700s, which I don't really feel like people
were they
received
700s or were they 750s?
No, 700s.
700s V2s.
Yes, the V2s.
Okay,
like the ones you have in all black.
The Vantas.
Yes, those are V2s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was like, you know, people were okay with them, but they didn't really love them, except for the first ones, the Statics. No one really gave a damn about them.
Right.
The VaporMax CPFM, that's Cactus Plant Flea Market. Those are the ones. They were the VaporMax. They were kind of gray with the green and a little smiley face with 4 eyes.
Yes.
So I fucks with those. Those could have been.
That's hype beat shit.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Fucking collaboration. This fucking streetwear shit is taking over. But the number 4 is the Jordan 11 breads or playoffs.
Sure. Can't really argue those.
There is no arguing that.
I'm shocked they weren't closer to number 1, but
yeah, but there were more deserving.
Okay.
There were more deserving sneakers beyond that. And I feel like a lot of people stopped putting top 20s and top 10s and went with top 5 sneakers for 2019 because there wasn't that many really good sneakers for 2019 and
a lot of them were just color swaps.
Yeah, that was pretty much the premise and what was going on. So like for me, what are we looking at? The breads made for the Jordan 6 infrared.
Yeah.
Was 3. Was my top 3.
Okay.
And you know, I think we talked about it a moment or so ago about
you got a history with these.
It was history, and I could probably argue between those and the 7s. Like, let's say for instance, if the Bugs Bunny 7s released,
I've been quite waiting for those.
The hair.
Yeah, the hairs.
Right, the white ones.
Those are the only 2 colors, the hairs and the black and gray joints.
Yeah, actually.
You have what?
Down there somewhere. I ain't even gonna.
You have the hairs?
Yeah.
How much you want for those? Let me get those, man.
Let you get those?
Yeah, you don't even wear them.
Yes, I do. I actually just wore them.
I bullshit. Let me get those.
We'll talk, so.
Let me get those or one of those Zooms over there. Son.
Off mic. Son, what? So one of those Zooms?
Son, come up off something, son.
Son, did you not just say on camera for the record that I have given you multiple sneakers?
Son, it's not multiple if you refuse to give me one more pair.
It is multiple.
Let me get those.
Son, yo.
I'm going to look up what the hairs cost in StockX later tonight.
They're not that much. You'll probably get them for about anywhere from $250.
Oh, wow.
And maybe less.
I quite like those. I'll look them up later. I quite like that colorway.
Yeah. It's like the white with the red.
And those are 7s.
7s.
Okay.
So I was saying if they released at the same time as the 6, even though I have history with the 6, the 7s are my first Jordan purchase. The 7s.
Okay.
So I must have been in 11th grade. I want to say 10th, 11th grade when I purchased it was the Bordeaux's.
Yes.
So, you know, that would be much higher than the infrareds.
Okay.
So, you know, it is what it is. That's how, you know, why the 6 rates is so high. The number 2 is the Sakai waffle.
Yeah, I saw somebody in the train wearing those this week.
Those are really, they were so different They were like the Sean Witherspoons.
Yeah.
They were that different to where that's what propelled them to a high level for me. That I was like, okay, these are, when I put mine on, motherfuckers is like,
Yeah.
I don't have those.
They're nice.
Yeah. So, and my number one, Cactus Jack Jordan 1s.
Is Cactus Jack on the Jordans?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. On the back. It's
on
not
the
hidden.
Asin. On the Asin.
It's not hidden like the other
the
fuck
other
face
one, okay.
silhouette.
I have a question.
We're going to stop this.
Hold on.
We're
I have a question
going to
for you.
stop this.
Where does Saucony rank
Saucony.
Saucony
in
is
your life? Like where does it rank among like sneakers?
Right next to LA Gear.
Actually, no. Saucony was, well, I will say, Saucony for me, I've never been a person to, is that me?
No, I think that was me.
Oh.
My bad.
I've never been a person to really buy Sauconys.
Mm-hmm.
However, Tory did.
Yeah.
So
He had a lot of them.
Yeah, he was
Him and Omar.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5 pair. Now, Sauconys were like, that's what, even then, older Caucasian men and women wore to go running.
Okay.
Those New Balance Asics.
Okay.
So I can't say that they're bad, but they were never for me.
Right.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But they got a lot of nice colors to them nowadays, but they really just wasn't for me. So,
But before we get into our next thing, there's another thing, because I don't care about sneakers like that. I wear what I wear, and I would love to get off Nike if we start talking.
You need to get you a pair of ones. You need some Jordans in your life.
Jordans. I need no Jordans
You
in
need
my
some
life,
Jordans
sir.
in your
Get
life.
out of here.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them Jordans. The other thing too, right? So you said, the NBs and all this stuff, and I remember when Skechers first came out. Everybody, the angle they played. I don't even know if that's when they first came out. That's when they first hit my radar. They had this shit for kids, right? But since then, I was in the store looking for some Rockports. Those very specific Rockports that I like, right?
mm-hmm.
The store didn't have them. I'm not name dropping the store, but
Fuck Jimmy Jazz.
damn sure wasn't Jimmy Jazz.
I'm
Man.
back. Continue.
Fuck Dr. J's.
I was walking past Skechers like lifestyle casual shoe, and I was like, yo, is this really Skechers? Like, is this?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, wow, did y'all just like step it up somewhere and I wasn't paying attention?
So there's two things that's happening here.
Yeah,
One, pop culture flipped on its face.
Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
Skechers would be considered nerds, and today, everything nerds were ever into is what's driving our economy.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
that's very relevant in Sneakerville and in most places, fashion.
All right,
Right.
cool.
And then two, there are no more bad cars.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Kia makes a hell of a car. Hyundai out here fucking
Yeah.
getting it. Same in Sneakerville.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to try real hard to find some fucking, like, unless you're Asics.
All right, yeah.
But you can walk in like your
Aldo.
random. Not even Aldo's been hitting hard for they shit just
And
don't
the
last.
sneakers?
It's not quality. Yeah. But you can walk in H&M and find a pair of $30 stylish shoes that you can rock
I saw that.
for the night, and no one's gonna ask you what are those.
Okay.
So
All right. I just wanted to know because I was like, it's like I'm Captain America. I woke up and
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, bro, what the heck is going on here?
Right.
I feel like I've seen Skechers a little more these days.
And when I mean by quality, because I always felt like Skechers didn't break, right? Because the kids who I saw rocking Skechers when we was growing up, son, they were some active kids, and them sneakers always looked like they just came out the box.
Yeah.
But like, just when I say quality, I mean like the design, and the designs of the sneakers now is like, wow. As an adult, it's like, oh damn, okay.
Yeah.
So I had to ask.
And Skechers like
Shoes, not sneakers.
right. And Skechers, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. When I was working for Blockbuster, shout out Blockbuster.
Playing
talking,
Hollywood.
yeah, you talking 1996. So I actually bought I didn't. My brother bought a pair of Skechers. They were rain boots. The front of them were like that rubber like duck boots.
Okay.
But they were smooth. They didn't have the ridges or whatever on it. I'd say the first from front to about 3/4, give or take an additional, maybe half the sneaker up until the laces was rubber. Everything past that was like really quality leather, quality nylons, quality materials, and they were waterproof. But they looked so nice.
Okay.
They were really nice. And I say all of that to say, even back then, there would be a company where you wouldn't expect to put out some really fly shit
Yeah.
And like I'm not a person that's just going for the hype.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They made it happen. And like I said, I wear Pumas now, not because they're hype, but because they make nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
all right. I mean,
but
fair enough. And what would you say is your shoe of the year, sir?
Air Jordan 6 infrared, son.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a pair of sixes.
Absolutely, son.
All right. Okay. Well,
So you said that that you shot, what was those, cactus? You shot, which ones you said?
yeah,
you
the
shot?
cactus.
The
I shot,
You shot
all
both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the people who are watching us listening to us from our watch things will know that we had the photography channel. So how's that been going?
So that's a part of the bigger conversation of what LD really is. And I guess last year shit hit the fan because like
A lot of things happen.
a lot of things were happening. We were all in so many different directions. So we just kind of up and disappeared. And then that's even behind the reason for this podcast and not video.
Right.
Because it's so fucking time consuming to do video. Like right now I'm sitting here in my drawers in Tawann's house. I feel comfortable.
And it's not a casting couch session.
yeah.
Okay.
So we don't have to put on.
Right.
So foregoing video for the channel, it was a hard decision, but that's what happened. But the photography channel, because I decided to kick up my personal photography as a mainstay, I kind of took the photography channel and rebranded it to like Ramon Trotman Photography.
Right.
So that's been, I stopped doing a lot of like the stupid tech stuff over there, like this camera versus that camera, which ultimately I might have to go back because that's the type of content to get people on the channel.
Yeah, people want to see visuals when it's photography.
Well, not only that, people are really searching for the features of this camera versus
the
that.
Photography crowd has become
just like the tech crowd.
tech crowd. Which
so you got to get them on there.
Yeah.
But as of late, I've been really enjoying the content I'm doing. Like, okay, here's this image, here's my thought process behind the image, and
Right.
here was my vision and that type of stuff.
But that's not what I want to know from you. My question is, like, son, you've been going hard for it. Where are you at? How you feeling, bro?
I'm at a juncture right now where I need to make a decision.
Okay.
Because my work's very good, and it's not like from a self-righteous place.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I did put a lot of work in my website. I pulled out of Instagram because I was
sure did.
I was at a point where like I had 10,000 followers. I hit the goal, but I found myself being pulled into a world where my vision and my goal was being tainted by the dumb shit I was scrolling past every day. So I felt like it was encroaching on my creative process.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see, like how Lil Wayne, when he's like, I don't listen to other music.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
And Drake is like, what the fuck you mean? Like, you got to hear what's relevant. He's like, nah, what I'm doing is relevant. I don't listen to other. It's kind of like that stance.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself falling into like trends and shit. So I had to find a way out. But right now, the decision I have to make is, do I want to go professional? And professional doesn't mean like full time. It means for money. And I get gigs here and there. But my fear is when you're doing it for the money, it's no longer passion driven and it becomes work, just like work.
Okay, well, I want to speak to that. I never equate professional with money. I equate professional with a quality of content.
Absolutely.
And I feel like when I say to any of my friends who are looking for a photographer, a professional photographer, I say your name.
Sure.
Because that is what the quality of your photography brings. It says to me.
But they paying for that though.
Right, but before they even know how much you charge.
Yeah.
They're saying, I need a professional photographer.
Right.
Do you know someone?
Yeah.
And I say you. And I mean, paying goes without saying. It's like, okay, I'm not just some Instagram whore
Sure.
that's looking for some booty shots.
Yeah.
This is I want some really nice pictures. I want my baby whatever reveal.
Yeah.
I want my wedding.
Right.
What have you. I'm saying your name, whether you put a price tag to it or not.
That's the juncture. I don't know if I want to shoot people's fucking baby reveals. Like, I don't care about your baby. You get what I mean? And I work super hard to be to this
Wu-Tang
point.
is for the kids,
I understand.
baby.
He ain't Wu-Tang. He
Wu-Tang's
may be
for the
RZA,
kids.
but he ain't Wu-Tang. It's nothing for the kids.
And then
right
there's even like, I'll reach out to models, and out of anything Instagram, I can say that's the one thing I enjoy. Having so many followers, when I reach out to someone, they respond.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll go out, shoot a model, and it's usually for my portfolios, for TFP, what they call time for photo.
Yeah.
Or it used to be time for print.
Yeah.
So I get the pictures for my portfolio, and she or he gets the pictures for their portfolio.
Right.
Even when I'm out on those shoots, right? Like, I'm over this. Like, I've already honed my skills. So the last model I shot was a plus size model because I needed her in my catalog.
Absolutely.
I'm not one of those that's only gonna have fucking cute girls and long blonde hair.
You
Like,
need
I don't.
Lizzo in that.
You know what I mean?
model
Like,
shoot.
it's a different ball game, with the skin tones of dark skinned people versus light skinned people, and bigger models versus skinny models.
Right,
Like, you
right.
want to show the diversity. So even doing that, and I'm just like, I'm fucking over this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if somebody shows up and they be like, yo, $600 for this shoot, I need 10 images delivered. I mean, I might say yes, because $600 is like half the money for that new camera that I'm looking to buy anyway.
Right.
But most of it's just gonna be me like, but I would like to just stay home and watch The Mandalorian on Saturday.
Because you're uninspired by
Because there's nothing inspiring about this shoot.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I got a few projects I'm working on. Like, I would much rather do that than. So it's a weird place to be.
And I don't know if you still actively, not active, but actively viewing Instagram. So I was looking at first of all, I hate saying the algorithm, but the algorithm is fucking horrendous on Instagram now. But whatever.
Shout out to
Wild
Google.
shit.
And and I was actually watching something about that, but we'll talk about that later. I was looking at Jerry.
Yeah.
And something he was just saying that, I want to say he said something relative to December or November or something like that being tough for him.
Yeah.
Tough in the realm of uninspired.
Yeah.
When it's seemingly
So,
how
yes.
kind of, that was the direction he was going.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's like, does a good soul, like, in essence, I'm asking, does a good soldier shoot through the pain or shoot through?
You're always supposed to shoot through the pain.
Right? Do you?
He's trained to do that.
Right, but like, if I want to draw a parallel between a photographer, because a photographer shoots,
Right.
and a soldier shoots,
Right.
and if, like,
I get what you're asking.
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the difference is
Does
a
it make
soldier
sense?
doesn't have a choice. They're taking orders. A photographer, and this is very difficult to ask anyone, even not a photographer or a professional or anyone, about themselves.
Right.
Why? Why are you here?
Yeah.
Why do you go to work? Well, that's an easy one, right? You need to pay bills.
Right.
Okay, well, some of us are more privileged to pick a direction in what work looks like. Why did you choose that? Some people, there's a myriad of answers for that. And as a photographer, it's why are you a photographer? Why did you pick this specific genre? Jerry's a very, he's in more of a pickle than I am. He's a very skilled photographer.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the world available to him where he lives.
Yeah, I see that.
Right. So he in Michigan there is
lighthouses.
There's lighthouses, to put it quite frankly, and that's what he has, and he kills it. And then there's some models that he shoots, but like the girls that he shoots aren't like the prettiest. Like, so if Jerry came to New York and lived here for a month and reached out to a different model every day, his body of work would look fucking insane.
I wouldn't.
Literally, because the girls are just a hair cuter.
Nah, I wouldn't go into the whole cute thing, but I think it's skill set. Models in LA model different than the ones in New York. And
well, he doesn't have models, cute girls. My bad.
He doesn't have.
He got access to pretty girls.
Right. He doesn't have access to a plethora of skilled models.
Right.
And that's the situation right there.
Right.
Where
because
he's at.
I'm looking. I mean, we're looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
So
it's not his work.
It's not his work. It's not the. Maybe it's the repetitiveness of what it is,
which is a real thing.
Yeah, because it's only for so many angles you can shoot a fucking lighthouse.
Son, if you look at I left my Instagram the way it is on purpose. If I were to drop another series of images on my Instagram, nothing would look different. You see what I'm saying now? What am I gonna? It'll just be another model smiling with great skin texture who didn't have great skin texture to begin with.
Go to Corey Rice on Instagram, right? He guy who I work with, he's actually a good friend of mine now. You home what you home. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and when people reach out to you, they reaching out to you because they know you could do that look. I think
right.
I think it's one, the inspiration. I think it's two, the work you want to be doing is that I don't want to say niche because niche also sound like a condescending thing. But like if you're a sharpshooter, you're gonna shoot sharp.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I think for you, it's like you've got the style, but you're still looking for the challenge.
Yeah.
For Jerry, he's been doing this for a while long. And one, he probably has to go through this little period of like, I'm because of the circumstances I'm in, I may need to change what I want to shoot. And how do you get that creative juices flying again? You get what I'm saying? Because on one end, the other thing is not working for him anymore. It still looks great. He does great landscape shots, which has been posted in his local news and all this other stuff. He's been part of Olympus.
Yeah.
Or he's been
multiple
part of
magazines
multiple magazines. So his thing is, called Shooting Through the Pain. This is also his livelihood here.
Yeah.
The soldier committed to the war, but now they got to shoot through the pain to get home. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like for him, it's like, well, where do I go from here? Because everything right now is uninspiring, but this is my livelihood. So I feel it for him.
It's tough. Like, I mean, I called Tawann, you'll bring some sneakers.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I put them in a light box and I shoot
You could
them.
also go to Times Square and just walk north to south.
There's that. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
There's cigars I can put the macro light on and
Yeah.
get to like there's.
But in our city, you can just shoot the sidewalk and
Whatever, exactly. I have a project I'm working on that's very much like that right now. But,
it's called garbage.
it's called The Streets of New York. So it's just about random shit that's on the sidewalks.
Right.
Garbage.
And
Yeah.
and you know what I feel also? I feel like when you are a dedicated shooter, you are a photographer. I feel like we all get kind of sort of pigeonholed into our own realm.
1,000%.
Yeah.
So
even
here
me
we
as a
are
dancer, I've been through that.
Right. Exactly. Here we are. We're in New York. Now, I'm more than certain. I mean, if you're feeling somewhat of the drought, like I'm uninspired. What the fuck? So you can create something to shoot.
Yeah.
But that feeling of I'm all right, I'm uninspired. What the hell? Can come at any moment.
Yeah.
Right now you have something to shoot. That doesn't mean necessarily tomorrow you have something to shoot. So what I feel and what I'm getting at is I'm wondering if it's because you've only been shooting here.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a world photographer, like let's say if you took a trip to, I don't know, Rome or what have you, you will find so much. Like when you go,
I understand your point.
You know,
yeah.
when you went to Louisiana,
yeah,
and you had so much to shoot. The colors were just so vibrant
different.
out there.
Yeah.
And then when you went to,
but at the end of the day, it was still street photography, though.
Right. No, and,
that's the problem.
And but you know what? It's how you're shooting what you're shooting.
Yeah.
Not what should.
It can help. It can help.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it depends, because if we look at what you're saying, take that context and copy and paste it to portraits.
Right.
Is another person going to make me feel better about my portraits?
No.
Is one more model going to change it, do it for me?
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
Like if you shoot mountains in one part of the nation and then you go to the other part, it's still
is another mountain going to do it? I don't know. Yeah. For some people, it might. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It all depends. I mean, for me, the quickest way, because like 2 months before my wedding and like a month after my wedding, I didn't shoot.
Yeah.
I didn't even have my fucking camera with me. Mm. So I just straight up.
Sorry, we don't pay all these money for phones to be worried about your camera.
I troll the fuck out of people on my Instagram. People don't even know what's taken with a phone or a camera on my Instagram, and it's just wildly hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just wildly hilarious. But
do you post edit when you take from the camera? Or is
from the phone?
From the phone, rather.
Yeah, I edit. Mm-hmm. I'll usually always edit. Keep a consistency.
And you shoot, do you, like, because I know you have the Camera Plus app that lets you shoot raw?
I just shoot the regular shit. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, okay.
It don't matter. I mean, raw, you know, there's this big thing about raw images and all this bullshit. Raw is literally raw data.
Right.
And it looks like shit. And these camera companies and the cell phone companies go a lot of work to dialing the colors you're seeing. Mm-hmm. So if you don't know what you're doing, you take the raw image, you're probably going to end up with a worse looking image than the JPEG.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Not to cut you off, but I'll cut you off. But
no blinker.
When I like editing raw, I've always like, I don't know, my pictures seem to come out better than editing a JPEG.
Because you push so there's a very specific reason for that. You're shooting with the intent to wildly change the sliders in post. Yeah. That's what RAW is for.
Yeah.
But you're not doing it right. So the intent is to evaluate the scene and shoot the opposite on the camera and then counterbalance it in post. So what that really means is when you go outside and it's fucking bright as shit, you can't see shit.
Right.
You shoot for the highlights with the intent to use the raw file to bring up the shadows. It's difficult to explain. You'd have to see it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because that's always.
But if you're only gonna tweak here and there, then the JPEG's fine.
And I will say this. This is just for me shooting from I'd still say a beginner's thought. Mm-hmm. Shooting anything without adequate light.
Yep.
Don't fuck with the sliders.
Yep. It doesn't help.
Let auto. If you want to do anything, hit auto and set it and forget it. Because when you shoot on a cloudy day and you start fucking with those sliders, you will literally fuck that picture up.
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, I always tell people, don't worry about editing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you care about editing as a beginner and even intermediate, because a lot of people who've been at it for a while didn't necessarily mean you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Your number one thing in photography is composition.
Yeah.
It's story and composition. Fuck all the other shit. None of it matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like the story of a woman falling down the stairs and her baby's in mid-flight is a story if it's in a brown color, a green color, black and white, blown out highlights or not.
Right.
That's the story. No one's going to look at this and be like, whoa, the white balance in this image is off.
Mm-hmm.
They got to look at this and be like, holy fuck, is someone going to catch this baby and this woman break her neck? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's all that matters. That is
right.
all that matters.
Right.
Spoiler alert, that baby and that mother is floating into the sky and not descending from.
Well, if they're floating into the sky, I am running the opposite direction, or I'd better be with them.
So I feel like people just spend so much time trying to learn Photoshop and take it from somebody who did this.
Yeah, son. Some photo.
If you look at the
Fucking
the amount of imaging that I post processing that I do now, you'd be like, wait, that's it?
What I tell you? What I tell you when I got to my current job? These dudes ask me questions about Photoshop that I swear they should know, because their photography skills is that gangster.
Give a fuck about, yeah,
Bro, they come off the sensor with it.
Yeah, especially if you use Fuji. Goddamn.
They come off the sensor with it, so that's cool. But that's I just wanted to know where you was at with it, because technically you had a whole year of like going ham minus the vacation time for your
I've been
for your marriage.
fucking killing it. I look at my body of work and it's all on the website now, and it's just like
website, please.
Stunning.
Plug
son.
the website, please.
Oh, rtperspective.com.
Thank you.
So, some fuck shit to say that your own website's stunning, but god damn it.
Will Smith says, I always say my movies are good. but seriously, this one is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bad Boys. So
I'll be waiting for that movie.
If we really want to talk about this Apple thing here.
Okay.
Because Apple, I find myself on the fence defending Apple with this, and I don't like that.
You know what I like? Because for those of you who've been living under a rock, or if we're late to talk about it, the Mac Pro.
The Mac Pro.
The 52K. Up to 52K
Now,
Mac Pro.
before we roll out the red carpet for this, let's just make mention that they fucked this up last generation. Because this was the trash can design.
Yes.
And people went and, because I guess the original Mac Pro was a cheese grater.
Okay. Yep.
Some OG gangster shit that lasts forever. Mm-hmm. And then they came out with the trash can. Oh, look.
Son, this picture's wild, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Michael B. Jordan.
Son.
It's a dope story behind that shot.
Yes, it is.
Son, that
he's on fire, by the way, right now. So that's good.
Yeah, I like that dude.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this design. It's designed in a circle, and we've had to do so much work to get a motherboard to fit in a circle. Mm-hmm. And then, like, people started buying. It was like, wait, I can't upgrade RAM.
Yep.
What in the fuck? You can't upgrade this. You can't upgrade that.
Yep.
right.
And the Mac community was up in arms and quickly forgot about it 2 days later, like they usually do. Right. So this new Mac Pro is them coming back and saying, all right, yeah, we're fucked up. Function over design, which is something hard for them to admit to. And the price of this thing goes up to $52,000.
Mm-hmm. My favorite thing about this, because one, I do web work, I do graphic work, et cetera. I've edited a few videos here and there, done some audio stuff here and there, and what I got at home and what I've been privileged to work with in some organizations is pretty dope. It's I would probably say the highest machine I've worked on is probably 5,000. And
right.
If you ask me, man, is that $5,000 machine spectacular?
Same here.
But then just to think about, what does a 52K machine does for a 8K, 6K, or 4K video? Yeah. How many apps can I get running at the same time? How many things can I render out at the same time?
That's like 5 Chrome browsers with 5 tabs open.
Like, I'm so wild, like in awe of like, what's under that hood?
Yeah.
How much is that independently?
240 something gigs of RAM or some stupid shit.
Wasn't it like 2 terabytes or something else?
2 terabyte. I think it was a 2 terabyte SSD or some stupid shit.
But wasn't like a 1 terabyte RAM or something like that?
No.
Oh, okay. I might be.
It went up
exaggerating
to
Which is this?
Yeah.
This is the Mac
This is
Pro.
the Mac Pro. The 52K.
There, you're right. There is one.
Somebody got a terabyte of RAM.
The RAM was like it was some exorbitant.
Yeah, 278
Still
gigs of RAM or
amazing.
something like that.
I use 16 gigs at home. The most I've used is 32. 16 gigs is like, come on, fam. You don't need more than that.
I've run into limits with 16. Because I've had Photoshop and Lightroom open at once, and then Chrome sucking the life out of everything
Sounds like
else.
your problem was Chrome.
Yeah,
And Chrome is habitual right now.
so I'm at 32 right now, and I was just fucking around the other day, and I forgot that I had Photoshop, Lightroom open, Chrome, and I had Vegas open because I was editing a video and I forgot to close it, and I was playing Call of Duty. I was like, goddamn. Oh, I almost lost my mind. And I think I was at 27 gigs. So I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah. And so
all asinine, by the way. That's not a real world scenario.
Right,
like.
of course. But still, we talk about resources on a machine and what's being called into play.
Yeah.
So now you take that, right? I mean, I'm thinking like, movie studios and stuff like that. But what is some of because I know you do the IT thing. What would be some of the best implementations for a 52K machine?
So this, I think the only reason I could, is for raw video processing.
Hold on, wait, 1.5 terabytes of RAM.
Is it RAM? Okay.
I know I wasn't tripping. Yeah, it was like
DDR. Okay.
1.5
My bad.
terabytes of RAM.
So this shit here is this is far past. They always talk about these 3D programs that you need a dump truck worth of resources. So this is far past that.
Right.
This is for people who, right out the gate, they're coming off a fucking sensor, an 8K sensor, and they've got a ton of they've got a project timeline that's like an hour, 2 hours long, like full-fledged movies full of 8K footage.
Right.
No fucking way you're rendering that.
You're not even render. You're probably not even getting a chance to preview it.
Right. Like you can't even watch that.
It was talking about proxy for proxies.
And this is right. Like you got to start proxy and shit. So this is machines for people like that who's like, fam, I'm not proxying fuck all.
Right.
Like I need to see it.
You told me a story one time about like how Linus was having people like, I guess, dial in to do stuff.
Yeah.
And this would fit in that category too?
This would not. So what Linus was doing, he built a rendering server. So technically it's a server that hosts in VMs. But the resources in it it was super chunky.
Right.
So he probably had like a terabyte of RAM, and he probably had some wild graphics card in there, or a slew of graphics card that they would assign to specific VMs.
Right.
So all of his video editors didn't actually have a workstation in front of them. I mean, they did obviously, but they were running an RDP session back to the big boy
things. Right. Okay.
and that was rendering multiple videos all at once.
Right. Gotcha.
This, I think, is for this can definitely fit that because it's a rackable machine, so you can use it for that. And like movie studios would probably, because it's so expensive, they'll probably have like one or two of these, and all the other machines are just regular shit.
Right.
So what you would do is you'd have your guys working on the file, they'd hit save, and then you open it on this, and just render it out.
It's all using that fucking continuum. So all you'd have to do is, here, check this out. What do you think? Boom.
Yeah, and the files will probably be on there. And I don't know how they do it on the back end, but I know the movie industry is the number one purveyor for
gotta
this.
be
Right.
Gotta be. And would you say this is probably their most customizable? This is like maybe This is probably almost 20 years of like what people asking
bitching
for.
and moaning. It's not perfect. Like there's not enough USB ports on it, not enough FireWire ports, but that's all minor complaints.
That's all extensions.
Yeah. But it's them giving in. There's a lot more industry standard shit here than there's ever been.
Now, what about your stand? How you feel about the stand? Not the stand. Sorry, I jumped straight to the stand. The monitor.
So the monitor, the reference monitor, I've seen prices on reference monitors get up there.
Yeah. It's a real thing.
Yeah, they're like $15,000-$20,000 and all type of stupid shit. Does it mean anything to me and you? No, but to people who are making these movies and shit like that, they need to have very specific colors.
Yeah,
as accurate as possible. Apple was able to do it for like $5,000,
right? Which is crackhead prices,
and that's not something that Apple's known for.
That's the scammer price right there.
Yeah, so that's a very big deal that Apple is able to do that. I mean, people's been searching for the gotcha.
Yeah.
For like the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, nah, it is what it is. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Steve Jobs is dead. Johnny Ives left. Like, here's something that we're not trying to rape you on. Right. How about that?
Right.
And then there's the stand.
Well,
the stand is just funny.
I'm gonna leave the stand alone.
Yeah, the stand is just funny.
$1,000 for a fucking stand.
I mean, the stand is just funny,
and I get it.
It makes for a good joke.
Yeah, it's a great joke.
That's
by
a
the way.
fucking huge joke. Do stand up comedy off the stand alone.
I ain't mad at it.
That.
Speaking of design, son, we at with the Xbox Series X, man.
Just the design.
We could start with the design. Where you at with the design?
I don't have a problem with it. I liked all the memes that came with it.
The refrigerator shit.
The refrigerator was probably my favorite one.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like a refrigerator.
It does if you see the memes.
If you see the memes, it fits.
It does.
And I don't know when's the last time you walked through Lowe's or Home Depot. You go in that refrigerator section, bro. You're gonna see something very, very close to that.
Yeah.
It's the new wave of electronics, especially the Samsung joints.
I feel like if I was comparing it to a refrigerator, it would look more like mine. Now, my design refrigerator is years and years old. However, your average Samsung, GE, Whirlpool refrigerator has 2 doors. This shit doesn't have 2 doors.
It's not about that part, though.
It's
a silhouette.
I understand.
Yeah,
exactly.
They clowning the silhouette.
Yeah. But my feeling is again, we've discussed in length. It's the it's Microsoft's version of forward thinking in a world where when Apple does it, it's accepted. When Google just follows trends. And even Apple follows trend, but when it's a design, like, all fun and jokes and memes aside, but because everything in internet world is going to get a meme attached to it. But
I think it's a modern design.
Yeah, it's very modern. It's very forward thinking. It's very eclectic to a home. So
I don't know. I've heard both sides of it.
I mean,
and ultimately, I don't just give a fuck.
Right.
My one of the concerns that I'm pretty sure, and this has been talked about before, but for me, I'm an entertainment center kind of dude. This is if it's gonna stand, and the reason why I keep emphasizing the stand part because they built it for heat to rise through that one vent that they got, right?
Right.
And if it goes in my stand, it's gotta lay flat, like how everything else does. And I'm not quite sure that that's going to rock in the same way, considering the small form factor, shout out to Reddit, of how it was built. Now, my PlayStation 4 currently does not sit in the same box as my Wii U and my Xbox One.
You mean the same slot in your entertainment center?
It's not in there at all.
Okay.
Because I got shelves for mine. It's not none of them. It's not in there. My Switch and my PS4 is above. It sits on the flat top. The Switch because it's just too tall. Right.
You can't get it in and out.
Yeah, you can't get it out. And then my PlayStation was acting like it was suffocating, and I know not to play any games with that. So I took it out of there.
Sounds like a Sony problem.
We won't get into that, sir. So this new one, right? It'll probably do fine in there.
Right.
But there's another part that you brought up before that you want to see, and I actually, when you said that, I was like, you know what? That'd be dope. That color that's going to be at the top of the Xbox.
I hope it's just not marketing.
What's the color?
Green.
That green.
Well, whatever it is,
It's a glow.
It's like a
Yeah.
nice glow.
I want to see that
You know,
glow.
is
for
that
real.
like, say right now, because you brought up just like, what if it sat behind your monitor? Is it gonna illuminate this wall at night? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, I
like,
think-
is it gonna look like one of your
And they
blue
should let
lights?
you turn it off in the goddamn settings.
It better be.
It should be.
Yeah.
It better
I
be.
would think. And I feel like, honestly, I don't want to turn it off. Like, let that
They
glow.
don't want you to turn it off.
They don't
Right.
want you. Yeah, that's purely gamer shit.
Yeah.
And
RGB shit.
RGB.
everywhere.
The RGB is in play
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And
No, it's always been in play. It's just on a
Broader
wide
scale.
scale. Yeah.
Yeah,
RGB
like-
condoms in this bitch all of a sudden.
I'm looking.
you know, everything is light up the night. You know,
Yeah.
Cut the lights off. Turn your computer on. Turn your lights on. Your whatever lights, hue lights, and turn the white lights off. Get the color going.
Yeah.
I'm 2 seconds from getting some color in this motherfucker, goddamn it, myself. All right, got the light behind the wall over there, behind the chair. So my thing, like I'm rocking with it. Turn the lights off, let that color go.
I like the way it looks. I'm okay with the design. I'm a little questionable about the form factor of it and practicality for me, because like I'm like you in a way. Once it's in my house, it's getting tucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that was just for marketing. It's here.
Come to my house, you'll see dust on everything.
Yeah, everything dust.
I
You
don't
know what I'm
give a
saying?
fuck what it is. Even my cameras. I don't give a fuck.
Everything turns to that. So I just, you know, it'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like it. It's fine. It's not when it unveiled, I can't say it was like, it's definitely better than the reveal of the 64, the SNES, the PS2. Probably better reveal than the the Xbox One. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The 360 rebrand was probably a better reveal
I don't remember
the,
that one.
than the original one. But like, you know, it's a very nice looking piece, and I think it's going more of the Sonos type route. You know what I'm saying? Like that in that type of form factor. So we'll see. I think they said it's the height of like 3 Xbox One controllers or something like
So
that.
yeah, what you guys are talking. If you stand it up,
If you stand right. So it's like, you know, we'll see when it's in the wild. That's when you're gonna get the best thing of it. But just looking at the photos and everything, seems pretty cool.
yeah.
I just can't wait to see what the PS5 looks like now.
I'm still disappointed that neither Sony nor Microsoft figured out modular design for these consoles.
I think you're 100% right. We've been
Tell
talking
me
about
more.
this. Huh?
Tell me more. Like,
Hold on. Before he does that, we spoke about this when we didn't know the names of when we was calling the Xbox 720 and the next PS5. Well, actually, we said PS4. I think we got that right by mistake, but it wasn't that hard. But like, I think they know that this is still the better route to go.
Yes, I agree. However, to avoid that whole Pro bullshit,
right.
Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, use that port. Let me buy a eGPU module that I can then go out and say, you know what? Maybe I want 100 frames a second at 4K.
And
so I'll spend another $400 for this graphics card
And this is to
take over.
The Sega Saturn did something very similar.
Sega
to
CD.
That. No, the Sega Saturn. Yeah, Sega CD did too, but the Sega Saturn did. The Super Nintendo did as well, and one other thing did it. Or no, the 32X. Sorry, this is very close to what they did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be dope.
I think they need a way to do it. I would prefer if it was the main thing itself, but I get it. So give people the option. Here's the port. And if you want to go balls
Is it
to the
RAM?
wall,
Is it RAM that's our issue?
no, RAM's not the issue.
It's not the issue. RAM's not the issue.
There's no issue anymore.
Well, I'm talking about currently. Is that the issue?
No, there's no issue anymore. Was it Firewire? Is he Firewire? I think used to, because we didn't have a chunk. We didn't have a connector that could pass through that amount of
Out of
data.
that bus.
Now we've already that shit's solved.
Okay.
Because it used to be all type of proprietary ports and shit. Now it's literally just like Firewire.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at any of the docks for laptops and shit, that's what that is.
Yeah.
So you can come home now and have some, you have a laptop that can't barely run Photoshop, but when you get home, and you plug it into your dock where there is a real GPU, this shit's a powerhouse all of a sudden.
So the modular thing that he's talking about, right? You buy that thing right there, right? And that's the X Series X that we're talking about. You buy that thing, right? And we get 4 or 5 years down the line, and you're like, man, this thing is starting to run kind of sluggish. New technology always advance in this field. They're gonna want more power to get it to run smoother, et cetera, et cetera. So instead of jumping into a whole nother generation to meet today's demand or just your demand, you'd be able to replace something inside, like if you were replacing a GPU inside of your machine, or to his point, you plug in something into one of the slots that's going to accelerate. That's what we mean by modular.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a big fucking miss.
We spoke about that in the 720 video way back when, and for us, absolutely, and I think we're closer to that today than we ever been because the resurgence of people building their PCs, the resurgence of PC gaming, and then more people finding out how easy and rewarding it is.
Sure.
Nerve-wracking still, but you know, when you can build your machine to get what you want, you know, it's a lot easier to do today. It's much better today.
My question, and you know, I know we were talking about the design, architecture, certain shit in reference to the Series X. Let's talk about the controller. So obviously, you know, better than a Sony controller, but you know,
you don't even own a console. Shut up.
I'm not going to be talking about that. I'm not going to talk about that.
I don't get why Sony doesn't offset the thumbsticks.
At this point, it's pride.
I was just about
I guess
because
PlayStation gamers are used to it anyway, so what the fuck?
But
yeah, and we sell too many.
What's more comfortable to you?
For me?
Yeah, I know you're used to it. What's more comfortable for you?
It's actually the PlayStation.
Okay.
He's lying.
Or in Battlefield, because that's my biggest.
Can I have that?
No, this is my only controller.
In Battlefield, my KD, if we're gonna play off that, my KD is higher in Battlefield on the PlayStation than it is on that. In Overwatch, my percentages are slightly better on the PS4 than it is on that.
That's what you feel more comfortable with.
Where it is for but now I have a generation and a quarter with the Xbox controller full time. Where I have seen improvement at is my driving on the Xbox. Fighting wise, I got to be on the PlayStation. Yeah, because of where the D-pad is positioned at.
It is totally backwards for me. However, what do you think about Xbox adapting the share button that PlayStation?
Smart.
I think it's smart.
Smart. You know why it's smart? Because today, how do you do it?
First of all, I need to. My question would be, well, what are we sharing?
No, same thing we've been sharing. Really. It's not 100% sharing.
Xbox take a screenshot. Xbox record that. That's all on the share button.
Right. So ultimately, hey, Xbox record that.
It's done. You can't do it no more.
Share it to Ramon.
Nah, you got to go in the menu and do all type of shit.
Time out. You're missing the point though, right?
So
you can do it. You can say it because you have an OG Xbox.
Right.
If you bought an Xbox in the last 4 years, you don't have that. You got to use the Cortana thing, which is still, by the way, not as smooth.
Turned off.
And everybody's turning it off.
Yeah.
So how do you do it without interrupting your gameplay? Today, the fast way, if you hit the Xbox button, then you press X. That's to record, I think, the video. If you want to record a screenshot, you hit the Xbox button and you press Y. And that's fast. On the PlayStation, though it should be super fast, it's not, just full disclosure because you don't have it.
Right.
But I can either double tap the share button to start recording my gameplay. I can hold the share button to record the to record the video, or I can tap it to get a screenshot. It's that easy. I'm not hitting the PlayStation menu. The PlayStation menu don't pop out. I'm just here. It's just another button. And to me, for the way we've been moving, it should be on the controller. And I thought the Elite would have, kind of like, to me, that would have made the Elite controller way more of a value than anything else, because that's Elite.
Have you played with the Elite controller?
It's awesome. But what I'm saying is, if for the price that they're charging, you add that little button on there, everybody that knows what this is for, because it also could control your broadcast.
Right.
It's like, son, I am an Elite Xbox user. That's why I bought this. But I'm also a power user. I need something to make that easier for me.
I was always under the impression, correct me if I'm wrong, that the share button on the PlayStation was to share games.
No. It's literally like
No,
screenshots and videos.
And screen grabs. Screen grabs as in video or pictures.
Yeah.
If you want to go broadcast, you hold the menu and it might pull up that and you can go broadcast.
I'm actually happy that's the only thing they did to the fucking controller.
I mean, they made well, for this, son,
To the Xbox One,
son,
the Xbox Series X.
the controller was fine.
I don't have a
so
beef with
them
the
adding
controller.
the share button to me fixed the problem, the only problem with that controller, because it makes you more for those who record their
Right.
clips. It makes you that more efficient.
I would want to see Rumble analog,
You said
the thumbsticks.
I'd make you buy
That would be
the Elite
interesting.
controller for that.
I don't mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
like,
that would be super interesting.
I'll be the bastard and be like,
Because
you want
the Rumble triggers is something I never knew I needed.
Yeah.
yeah.
Until you don't have it, you're like,
And that is and that's probably also why I'm faster on Xbox than I am on PlayStation.
There's like real
when it comes
feedback there.
when I'm playing driving
Particularly
games.
braking.
Yes, absolutely. That's probably why I'm faster on the Xbox than I am on PlayStation.
And
Nürburgring.
racing games, when you engage the brake,
Yeah.
whether you are at 10% and you will get varying vibration.
Yep.
From 10% depress to 50% depress
To wheel lock.
to 100. Yeah.
Yeah, you know when you're locking up the wheels.
The wheel lock.
Yep.
This is new. That's exciting for me because playing with that. First off, Ramon forced me to do things, take certain stuff off when I'm riding.
Right.
And the controller on the Xbox, because of the feedback and the triggers, makes it more enjoyable for me.
That was such a surprise.
Because then when I go over to the PlayStation, even with some of the games that are on both consoles, the controller vibrate, but it's different. It's a different immersion.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a different immersion.
It feels absent.
Yeah.
Like it's like going from like you said, going from an Elite controller to a standard controller, and it's like, wait.
Yeah, these little things you notice for sure.
For me, for the PS5 controller, the only thing they need to do is add the rumble triggers. Mm-hmm. I think the way that it's fit now,
I don't have a beef with it.
It fits a lot of your complaints with the PlayStation controller. The PlayStation controller to people like you with big hands, it's anemic. You know what I mean? It needs.
I would love to
eating.
see a version where they offset it.
Yeah, but it will be. They should come out with an official Elite. They keep offsetting it to people. I understand why, but they should do it. Get people to purchase with confidence. Because I won't buy one of those.
I will tell you this. I haven't seen much of the messaging around the PlayStation 5.
You shouldn't.
Because one, I don't really look for Sony shit.
But you shouldn't.
And two, I don't think Sony's even ramping it up yet. But I like what I've heard from what's dude's name? Phil Spencer?
Mm-hmm. On the Xbox.
We're not targeting teraflops, and he's saying 4K 60 frames a second is the benchmark here.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to hear, because that to me is an acknowledgement of the fuckfest that what we got in this generation, where they promised very similar to that, and they couldn't deliver, and then they went and, oh my bad, here's the more powerful. Like, fam, nah, I need you to say on paper what the benchmark is, what the goal is here.
Yeah.
And that's how, I don't care if the PlayStation is more powerful than the Xbox or the Xbox is more powerful than PlayStation. What I care about is 4K, 60 frames a second, or 1080p, unlocked frame rate.
And in my opinion, the console business should be this. Like the car business, which you brought up that earlier. Yo, it don't matter. Nobody makes a terrible console.
Yeah.
We have the technology.
Yeah.
It's all about the experience. What you said. Like, remember, my most disappointing thing about my PlayStation is the whole PS4 Pro. Because the PS4 Pro is an example you guys, quote, promised games could run at 60 with the OG PlayStation. And you can't deliver that, and now I got to buy a Pro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Who shot first, the Pro or the Xbox One X? Xbox One X.
Because it had that name.
Yeah, because they got beat the fuck
it had
down.
the Scorpio name.
Yeah.
Or I think it was Scorpio. Tawann pulled up the PlayStation on the thing, and he's looking at it kind of weird. And I just want to point out to you, Tawann, that I know what it looks like, but it's heftier than the PlayStation controls that you used to.
Well, so I was looking at it because I was like, all right, I don't have enough context to say the new controller or the PlayStation 4 controller is a shit show. So,
but you're banking on it.
No. No. I'm not doubling down. I'm gonna walk it back. And I'm gonna say, I like the design change. So right there,
It's a dope controller.
right. It's the controller. So the problem that I was having is, and my mind is so pre-programmed or programmed to the PS1 or the PlayStation.
I know.
The PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 3, to some degree. And the absence of this right here. All right. The way
it gives you something to grip.
And that's what
it's the angle of grip,
right? And me personally, I can't speak for everybody else, but when hold on, so, and this is actually, it's funny, it's we having a conversation that's actually smaller, but I feel like this in my hands is very comfortable. All right, and I was always concerned with. Remember the old school ones being so fucking tiny. I remember playing PlayStation, and I was playing a game. Oh man, what the fuck was the ESPN?
Oh, Too Extreme.
Extreme.
Too Extreme. Classic.
ESPN, the first Extreme and Too Extreme.
Yeah. Classics.
Yeah. No, now those are games I can definitely say, but to play those games, it required you to move your hand. Mm-hmm. And if you wanted to kick left, you had to move, pull left. But mind you, you're still actively holding the motion button. Mm-hmm. It was very engaging. Mm-hmm. So I just remember my hand hurting so bad. Right along there.
Yes, I'm telling you right now, as a PlayStation fan, you're not wrong for that. I will never dispute that. I vividly remember after long sessions of Street Fighter and everything that I used to play, Darkstalkers, all that.
Yikes.
That my hand in the middle would be like, it's like somebody cut me.
I had to do
muscle strain.
Yeah, I had to do this between rounds just to get my hand to feel.
That's probably why I had the problem now.
But the PlayStation,
borderline carpal tunnel.
The PlayStation 2,
the original PlayStation,
and the original PlayStation Dual Shock, because I don't think there were Dual Shocks then.
The first ones, it came later when
dual analog or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
They were so much better than the fucktard shit Nintendo was doing.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I mean, it wasn't the best, but it was so much better.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, the first Xbox,
I like the Duke.
The Duke. I was never a fan of the Duke.
I like the Duke. You know you can buy it, right? They re-released it.
I don't want it. Son,
I'm A-okay on that.
The Duke is alright, man.
Remember
the Duke is the Dreamcast controller after
balls.
Slim Fast.
What?
Now the Duke was bigger than the Dreamcast controller.
Yes, it was.
But it was thinner. It was bigger, but it was thinner.
Okay, but the grip was bigger.
Right.
Son, that controller was massive.
Yeah.
Son,
I'm good on that.
Remember the first time we was all getting it in Halo. Don't give me that fucking controller.
Yeah.
I want
because we had a few Dukes, and then we had some of the new joints.
So when they moved over to the new joints, I was like, okay, I could probably buy one now.
Yeah, son, I was like, fuck that controller.
with the pearl button, the black pearl, the white pearl.
Yeah, but
I miss those buttons.
Shoot, I think I still have.
The only thing about the PS4, the DualShock, I don't like the touchpad.
Yeah, it was a gimmick. I don't
because some games I find myself when I play
right.
it, I can't find where a function should be, and come to find out it's on the touchpad.
Right,
and I'm like, okay, I don't have beef with it per se, but like it's just weird.
The best thing for all games, right? Games that were on all platforms that ended up on the PS4 was when they made the touchscreen button the map button. Because in some games you had to either hold the start button,
right,
to get up the map,
right.
and they had it like, yo, just hit the touchpad, and it's like you're skipping a layer of a menu.
Now, what I will tell you is the speaker on that fucking. That's what Microsoft should have did. They should have put a speaker on a fucking controller. Son, that shit works.
Son,
I've only ever encountered it in Uncharted. No, I was playing.
You should have been playing Killzone.
Not Uncharted.
Killzone gave it to you.
Fuck you and Killzone. What's the zombie shit that I got?
Destiny
2
probably
minutes
would have
in?
gave it to you. Detonation?
Nah, man.
Detonation did it.
The shit with the girl. It's like the best fucking game ever made. The Last of Us.
Yeah.
The Last of Us really rocked my world with that little speaker. Had me looking behind my back like, what the fuck is it?
Yeah.
All right, so
it's a little speaker on the controller
on the PS
on a PS4.
Let me give another. You've played Grid or no? You've played Halo 4.
Yes.
And what about Halo 5? You play Halo 5?
Yes.
So you know when people are usually talking to you in your helmet,
right?
All right. So now imagine you're not playing with a headset on, you're just playing the game.
Right.
You could put the headset on if you want, but like just you're playing the game, and that voice that's usually would come through the TV as in your helmet is coming from your controller. So all the sound is still loud as it's supposed to, but then because it's here, it's adjusted so you can hear this correctly.
Right.
And it's more of an open thing. It's a different type of immersion. It's me talking about it doesn't really
you
work.
Gotta
you have to experience it.
Or like when you reload a gun,
you
hear the clicks from the controller.
Here.
It's pretty trippy.
The only reason why I turned it off is because I was recording gameplay,
and it was picking it up.
And it wouldn't come through the
gameplay. It had to
because
come
it routes it to the controller.
Right. So I had to turn it off for certain things.
It's super trippy, but it's dope. I think Nintendo did something like that first too. I remember Nintendo having some dumb fuck like that.
Interesting.
So, but just to wrap up on this,
no, Dreamcast.
Dreamcast had it. Yeah,
because you had the little
the VMU.
Your VMUs. Yeah, Dreamcast had it.
So the other thing too that you're probably missing from this photo is that middle bar, which is where the when you grip your controller like this. So this is also another issue for your fingers. These fingers. Because it's thicker in the middle part of it,
right here,
you now have a more comfortable rest for yourself, as opposed to the regular style where you're doing this, and it's like you're touching yourself like this with bars going down as opposed to an angle. So it generally is it's the best version of the PS controller legacy outside of the DualShock 1.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like in terms of ergonomics. So am I gonna sit here and say it's gonna erase your what you need for what you get out of the Xbox? No. But what I am saying is
it's doable.
You can come play and you'll be all right.
Yeah. Right.
I probably get 3 hours out of it before I start bitching and moaning.
And how much more do you need after that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And for me, it's just the thumbsticks really that still fuck with me.
Yeah. Much better than the mushrooms. Yo.
Yeah.
Yo. Much better than the mushrooms. Right. Or the dog nose.
I feel like the Xbox placement of the thumbsticks,
the off axis,
yes, that is,
it's good.
It's a little more preferred for me.
Yeah,
it's good. No, it's good. I
think it's totally a preference, by the way.
I'm just happy that I can jump back and forth between the two because
if you're comfortable with that, then you should be all right.
Yeah, I'm so happy that I can jump, and I even use Nintendo's Pro controller. So,
and for me, going from an Xbox controller to a PlayStation controller, like for me that would be jarring.
Not as bad as you think. You should try it. Get the PS5, son.
Say what?
Get the.
I'll bring the PS. I'll bring the PS4 controller over. You just download a Steam
He
demo or
held it.
something.
He come to the crib.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta actually play something.
You gotta play
with
something
it.
with it. Play Tetris with it.
I'll rock out with the Star Wars.
All right.
But
I feel like that's all we got on the docket, though. Like,
Yeah, that's it for today.
yeah, we can
We can wrap this up.
wrap this up. I think we've talked long enough about
closure
to
episode 2.
for sure.
Hold on. Now I need one outro thing really quickly because we said some and everybody gave one. One more.
What did I?
Guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure.
And let's keep it to movies and shows.
Movies and shows.
Just to simplify it.
Movies and shows.
I'll give two for this because they've really won. So back when I was getting ready to go to college, this show came out on, I think it was Showtime or Cinemax, and I was curious to see how far they were willing to push this. Now this is 2001, 2002. Y'all can look up the wiki to see what date it was, but it's around this time. The L Word and and the other show. And I was just like, yo, they're not going to do this on TV. And they showed a boy getting deflowered. And I was just like, they went too far.
What does deflowered mean?
He got his booty hole taken.
Okay.
I was just like, yo.
Say that.
So hold up. Before that happened, though, there was no traces of that stuff.
It just happened.
The show was like, the writing on the show was so dope. So when that happened, I looked away like it was a horror movie. And then I automatically became like a weird fan of the show and the L Word show. And I was just like, bro, this is, and it's, mind you, this is like 2001, 2002, 2003. I'm still wild uncomfortable with seeing those scenes, but the writing. So that was the guilty. And I didn't tell nobody because I'm like, son, ain't nobody trying to hear me.
Well, now we know.
Yeah, you know now, but I don't watch the show now. And now you can't say nothing because RuPaul going to come through for me. You know what I mean?
Recorded, though.
So,
Dave Chappelle made it cool, too.
Well, yeah.
I watched the L Word on Showtime.
The L Word, though, is easier because, unfortunately, we all expect two women to kiss.
Well, late night. What's so unfortunate about that? Sure.
No, I mean, we okay with that, but we don't always see two dudes.
You don't see two dudes.
That's another huge topic that I don't. We can
just to keep it on target. Those are my guilty pleasures.
Okay, but we're still going to tread that story or that conversation for future. This is later. Maybe sometime around maybe February 14th.
Nah, we're not doing that during Black History Month.
It's also Valentine's Day.
We're not doing that. So what?
Son. Anyway,
the other show was Queer as Folk, by the way.
Queer as Folk. Queer as Folk is actually fucking funny. It's
was the writing not good?
No, the writing was decent.
Thank you.
No clue.
The writing is decent. It's that's with the two dudes and they're kind of like just all over the place. Yeah. But they're really it's really funny.
It's a funny
really
show.
Funny. Like this is coming from a straight married man. It's really funny. But yeah. So I would say probably Rick and Morty.
That's not a guilty pleasure.
That is for him.
Yeah, it is for me.
That's not. I could see him watching that. I know he watches that.
Yeah, I watch that now because I've made that mention.
No,
son,
that's not a guilty pleasure.
Son,
that's right up your alley.
Yeah,
because you like to fucking meatball and shake shit.
Son, that's funny, son. Team
all right.
You like raunchy fucking Adult Swim shit.
Listen. Okay, Squidbillies. That's a guilty pleasure.
That would have to be yes.
That's a guilty.
It got his moments. Son,
Squidbillies. The fucking dog. Oh God, what the fuck is the dog? Mr. Pickle. Son. Sons. You guys both need to watch Mr. fucking Pickle. Son, tears. Man. Son, tears. Real fucking tears. Squidbillies and
noted,
Mr. Pickle.
Noted, sir.
Okay.
Noted. I don't have any more guilty pleasures. I feel like I'm an open book. I'm just wild obnoxious with everything I do. I don't know.
You got nothing.
I'm drawing a fucking blank. Like my wife would have to tell you because I don't even.
All right, well,
I feel like rom-coms is like.
Yeah, but you gave us that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we'll put
I search out crazy, sexy, cool.
Yeah.
The one with
Yeah. I don't know what.
I watch that movie like 4 times a year.
Right.
Would that be a guilty? I don't know.
I don't know. Put a pin in it. Ask the wife. See what she says.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll
She gonna come back
revisit.
with like HGTV or something like that for you.
Nah, fuck that.
Alright,
some Nat Geo shit.
We started off.
Yeah. Thank you for watching and or listening.
Yeah,
So
you're so used to
watching.
saying watching.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, thank you for listening.
Well, my name is Ramon.
It's your boy Kicks God.
And your boy Snow. Peace,
Be
my
out of
G's.
here, man.
Out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Peace.
Get the fuck out of here.